Hi, this is Eddie Modestini, 35-year yoga teacher and student. He's an incredible teacher who has the ability to see where people are hurting and address their pain and congestion in such a beautiful way. He is a teacher's teacher and an incredible partner.
Oh, thank you, Kristin. This is Kristin Bastiles, an amazing yoga practitioner, a relentless yoga student. She's healed herself with yoga and superfoods in such a magnificent way. I admire her so much, and we are so excited to be bringing you a yoga retreat online. It's going to be 10 days of yoga classes woven into an amazing superfoods transformation. And so we're so happy to bring that to you, and I'd really like to invite Kristin now to tell her profound story with yoga and superfoods.
Thank you, Eddie. So ever since I was 17, I thought that I would die young. My mother died of breast cancer when I was a senior in high school, and it instilled this fear in me that I too would die from breast cancer because we were so alike. Everybody would always say how much I was like my mom. And I didn't really know about prevention, so I was doing all the wrong things. And when I was 31 years old, I was diagnosed with breast cancer as well. I found a chickpea-sized lump in my left breast, and a month and a half later was having a double mastectomy in New York City. And I got the pathology back, and I was given the prognosis that I needed to take a 10-year hormone therapy drug that would have put me into menopause and given me osteoporosis, as well as a list of about 50 other things, including other cancers. And this to me was the hardest decision that I would have to make on my journey with breast cancer, because it was so scary to think about completely changing my quality of life after I had just had this life-altering surgery. So I found a doctor in California who actually supported me in not taking the drug and using lifestyle, nutrition, and yoga to prevent recurrence. And what that did, it planted this tiny little seed within my heart that I could actually heal naturally and that I didn't need to take these toxic drugs. So I set out on a journey, and I found a naturopath who gave me an amazing protocol, an amazing list of foods that I had to have every single day. But Eddie and I travel and teach for a living, and so this was really hard for me, and I couldn't stick to the program. So every day, multiple times a day, I felt like what I was putting into my body was going to bring back the cancer. So I was living in fear of recurrence every single day, multiple times a day, constantly checking to see if there was any lumps coming in multiple times a day. And this took me into a very deep, dark depression that really affected my health physically, mentally, and emotionally, and it affected everyone around me, including my partner here. It was a very, very difficult time for me, and I really didn't see a way out. The only thing that kept me sane at all was yoga. And being in India for 3.5 months during that really, really challenging time, I had yoga every day to keep me above water a little bit at least. And it was at that point that one of our students introduced me to Purium, and I basically said, whatever you have, as long as it's organic, I need it. I'm desperate. I am really, really ruining my life the way that I'm feeling right now. And within 10 days of being on the daily program, as well as starting the cleanse, the 10-day transformation, I came out of my depression and have now been happy for over 1.5 years, and like truly happy, not trying to fake it till I make it, but actually feeling really, really good. And it's completely changed my life. And I think that the combination of yoga and these organic superfoods, there is nothing like it to prevent illness and to, make the best quality of life that we possibly can. So I'm stoked to be here with you, and I'd love to introduce Eddie to share his story now with you, which is also very profound.
Well, it's nowhere near as profound as yours, Kristin. I am a yoga teacher by profession, and what we do as yoga teachers is that we demonstrate postures, and we try to bring people through an experience of becoming more intimate with themselves, and it's what I call a concentrated or acceleration in evolution. We evolve quicker because we're really sincerely looking at ourselves. So depending on what I'm doing, if I'm teaching a teacher training, which I have taught for years and years, or multiple classes a day in order to make enough money to make a living, I would have to stay empty. So I found myself having like a little bit of coffee, a little bit of pastry, and using that to get through my day, which is not a healthy diet. So I was basically starving myself for years and years and years so that I could perform accurately in my presentations of the yoga teaching. When Kristin asked me, she said, I found these superfoods to replace all the vitamins and all the crazy meals that I was preparing. Do you want to join me? Do you want to do this with me? And I said, no, I'm not interested. I've tried everything. I'm feeling good. I like my life and everything's good. So we went to a yoga workshop, and it was 2 hours drive. It was 5 hours of yoga and another 2 hours drive. So after, several hours of being challenged, I felt exhausted, and I asked Kristin to take me for a cup of coffee, and she said, would you like a shake? And I said, no, I would really like a cup of coffee. And she said, I'll take you for a cup of coffee if you try the shake. So I tried the shake. By the time we got to the coffee shop, I was completely energized. I felt great. I was like, whoa, what is this? I had the cup of coffee, and the next day, I was equally as challenged and really tired. And we did this every day for a week. And when we got back, I said, hey, can I have one of those shakes? So I had a shake, and that continued for the rest of the workshop. And it was time for me to return back to Maui. And I said, Kristin, can I have some of that stuff? And she said, well, why don't you just order it? And I said, okay, I love it. I have to take it with me. So she hooked me up on a Connect call. I ordered the products, and I've been living on it ever since. I feel so supported in my profession, in my life. I've been told that I look as if I'm getting younger on a regular basis, in spite of the little gray that I have here. And I love the superfoods. I've done several transformations on it already, and we've decided that combining the yoga with the superfoods transformation could be an amazing marriage to help you manage everything that comes up during the transformations. You're going through a challenging time, and the yoga can be really specified to deal with all the different things that come up during the transformation. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, you're going to go through things, and this retreat will support you tremendously.
Yeah, so the nutritional piece is incredible. We have what's called a 40-day nutritional metabolic health reset. And it doesn't mean that you cleanse for 40 days, but it's the most supportive program to take you through an experience that will really help you change your lifestyle. So it's not just a in and out where you do 10 days and then you're done and you go back to your patterns, but it's actually an opportunity to create a shift in your life. And so that 40 days consists of 30 days of what we call the core 4, which is all the nutrition that you need in a day. And then you eat your normal diet. So it's an add-on, it's an extra support. And then the 10-day transformation makes up the last 10 days of that 40 days. And both of those consist of the same components. So there's protein, veggies, fruit, and a chemical detoxifier. So the protein are amino acids, they're non-soy fermented legumes, plant-based protein. They have an amazingly effective delivery system. So they go through your lymphatic system straight to your muscles. They don't tax your kidneys or your liver by going through your digestive system. And you actually get really clean, clear energy from them. So it's not like drinking a cup of coffee where you get this really high up that has like a little bit of a, jittery effect. It's very clean, potent energy that comes from the aminos. They also build your muscles. So even when you're not exercising, they're giving support to your muscular system. And then the second thing is the veggies, and that's the shake. There's 2 options. One that's green shake, it's microalgae and grass juices and slow burning carbohydrates. And the second one is a bunch of sprouts, adaptogenic herbs, medicinal mushrooms. It's definitely more supportive in terms of protein. And both shakes are incredible. They're both organic, non-GMO, and gluten-free, and they're all tested for purity. So all the ingredients, even though they're organic, are not given to the public until they're tested for heavy metals or potentially other pesticides that might have come in from another farm that's not organic. So everything is the freshest of the fresh and the highest purity, and that's why we love it so much. You can really feel on a cellular level the effects of the nutrition. And then the third thing is apothecary, and it is tart cherry juice that you drink at night. It's super antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, which we love, and and it's the only naturally occurring source of melatonin on the planet. So not only is melatonin used to help give you that deep REM sleep where you have the most healing take place in your body, but it also is a hormone that is crucial to preventing breast cancer. So it's really, really important, especially for women and men, as the rates go up of occurrences of breast cancer, that we have this additional source of melatonin in our body. It tastes amazing, and it's a great nighttime ritual. You can mix it with hot water, cold water, whatever your preference is, and make it something that's part of your nighttime routine. And then lastly, the most important thing in my mind that Purium has to offer is called Biome Medic, like your gut biome, your microbiome. And Biome Medic is clinically proven to take glyphosate out of your body, out of your gut. And what glyphosate is, it's the active ingredient that's found in Roundup. Roundup is used on most of our food. It's used on playgrounds and parks and apartment complexes and pretty much at highways, everywhere we look. Golf courses, there's Roundup being sprayed, and the fact is that it's in over 75% of our food. So if you're eating out, if you're eating from the grocery store in any way, you have it in your body. The last 10 years, every single adult tested positive for glyphosate in their gut. And what's happening is the gut, when it's infiltrated by this chemical, is really dying. The villi that keep the entries into the digestive system closed off from the bloodstream are opening up because the villi are dying, and food, pre-digested or semi-digested food, is getting into our bloodstreams. And it's causing autoimmune diseases, it's causing all the digestive problems that people are having, such as colitis and IBS and leaky gut syndrome, and all these new studies coming out that really list the gut as the first brain. It used to be called the second brain, but ultimately there are millions of more neurons in our gut than there are in our actual brain. So when they're being attacked by chemicals, it's causing things like skyrocketing levels of anxiety and depression. And this is all preventable by protecting our gut with Biomedic. So Purium's the only company on the planet that has something like Biomedic. It's considered, has the seal of an anti-GMO, and basically it doesn't just remove the chemicals, but it rebuilds the damage that's been done. So even people who aren't going to shift their diet as much as maybe you would on a cleanse will still have benefits, many benefits from taking Biomedic. So it's in its preclinical trial, it took away 74.5% of the glyphosate in the gut in 6 weeks. And it also reduced the C-reactive protein in the gut, which is the inflammation marker that many people test really high for. And so it's really removing a lot of inflammation as well. So those 4 components taken daily without changing your diet, just adding them in, are the core 4. And then the same components make up the 10-day transformation. And the 10-day transformation is 10 days of cutting out alcohol, caffeine, processed foods, processed sugar, dairy, and meat, and flooding your body with this organic tested nutrition, and allowing the Biomedic to do the cleansing of the toxins for us. So basically how it works is you take the aminos and the shake 3 times each per day. And so you start by taking the aminos, 2 hours later you take the shake, 2 hours later the aminos, 2 hours later the shake, 2 hours later aminos, 2 hours later shake, and the apothecary at night. Biomedic is morning and night. There's a schedule and a whole information packet that comes with the cleanse. And it's great because it's not a deprivation cleanse. It's a supportive cleanse. So you're actually able to eat food from a specific list that will support you in your times of hunger when you're really like, oh, I can't, like, I'm not feeling good, or I need to eat something, that you're encouraged to eat. And some of the foods on this list are avocado, cucumber, watermelon, broccoli, kale, cauliflower. Really awesome foods, and you can eat those to support yourself. There's so many different ways to customize this if you have questions, so please feel free to reach out to the person who gave you this link so you can get further information and ask specifics about yourself. But everyone we've introduced, which is more than 2,000 people now in the last year and a half, has had an incredible experience, and we continue to do this cleanse every few months because it's a really potent and awesome way to just reset the system. So I'd like to have Eddie talk a little bit more about the yoga that we're going to do and how that's going to work, so you understand how you'll be seeing our yoga retreat.
So the yoga is going to really address what it is that comes up through the transformation aspect of our retreat. Yes, it is 40 days, but 30 days are basically getting used to using these superfoods and start a slight detoxification. But when you go on the transformation, you're definitely going to go through a process. And the yoga is going to address that process. We feel differently every day, and we can use this yoga to aid in the digestion. We could use the yoga to deal with the emotions that come up. Sometimes we'll feel elated, sometimes we'll feel very over-challenged. And like Kristin said, we do have flex foods that you can eat when you're feeling like, I have to have something, or you could have an extra shake. I mean, what I do is when I'm feeling needy, especially during the transformation, I just grab another shake. And the Power Shake is incredible. I feel so much energy from it. We're going to have practices that will help you utilize excess energy, will help you utilize a depletion of energy, will help you support whatever it is that's coming up emotionally. And there are different phases that we go through, and we're going to customize the yoga practice to those phases in the transformation. So this yoga superfoods retreat is online, it's free, and we're so happy to offer this to you, to share it with you, and so to help facilitate your growth and evolution as a great, unique human being.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So basically, your next steps are to reach out to the person who gave you this link so that you can get set up with your products for this 40-day experience. And at that time, they'll add you to the Facebook group that we have, the private Facebook group where there'll be Facebook Lives with the classes. And if you're not on Facebook, don't worry, we're going to upload the videos to YouTube and we'll give you access to that channel as well. So either way, you'll be included. And we really look forward to seeing you on this journey. This is going to be really extra special, and we're so excited to be on this path with you.
So aloha.
Aloha.